This is the wear of the tire. Can you guys see that? This was from, this tire lasted a while, but you can see there's nothing left of it. If this was a little darker, you'd be able to see just how little tread there is here. You can see right here, this is where the compound changes. They've got a soft compound edge. That's what that is. Sometimes there's a little bit of a ridge there. They've been better. The earlier ones actually would start to kind of almost delaminate there, but the new ones aren't a problem. But there's nothing here, but I was still doing, fast times on this tire. Just turned it into a slick. But I did change it because it clearly had its, for what it was designed to do, it was designed to have sipes. So that told me that, all right, this is done. Again, even though everything was sliding a little bit, but not too bad, But at this point, it's really started, it'll tell me, and this is where the feedback comes in, that a rear tire that's worn like this, you get on the gas the same you always did before, and the thing starts to talk to you. All right, you gotta listen. But they're talking.
Nice thing too. Race tank off like that, instead of 7 millimeters thick, it was 2.5.
So just to say what Graham is talking about, I was just going to bring it up. The reason we put tire wear bars, have you talked about wear bars already?
No.
So a wear bar is, there you go. So the reason that you have to pay attention to these is what the tire manufacturer is saying is once you get down, if you can imagine that the long line, when it wears out so that it's even with those two bumps, that's where the tire manufacturer is telling you you need to start thinking about it. That photo Ken just showed you where he had worn, basically the lines were completely gone. Yes, you are putting more rubber on the ground. So in one way you could be thinking, hey, I'm fine, I have that. But if you're able to actually take that, if you were able to get your fingers in there and feel it, there's so little rubber left, before you're going to get onto the cords, that the rubber that is left is not really acting the way it's supposed to act anymore. So there's just so thin of a layer, like Graham was saying, you could be down to almost nothing. So you won't get the grip as a slick would give you. Because it's not only the slick, it's the thickness of the slick that's also giving you the grip, not just the fact that it has no tread.
It's also a profile change too.
Absolutely.
Which is dramatic. If you see this here, this tire was basically a V. It was bizarre. So it made it so that when I was going down the straightaway, it would also do some weird things too. It just was putting more load on that center, where just the profile was not as stable.
Aaron's not here anymore, right? Spatel?
Yeah,
When he was at the New York Track Day, he wore it right down to the cords. Like several spots, he had cords showing. So he knew it. He was aware of it. He's an excellent rider, but it's not what you want to do, obviously.
I guess just for street riding though, would you say a triple compound tire is the best of all worlds because it's going to give you the hard compound in the center to keep that, minimize the flatness in the center for highway riding, but yet be good for all around riding?
Theoretically, that's what they're designed to do, so that the center has a harder compound for highway riding. I did talk to Dave from Motor Race Michelin, and he said it's a gimmick. But I think it's beyond that now. I do think that they've got it so that, they've got several compounds that really give you that transition. But I gotta say that when it comes to, at some point, when it comes to being a track bike or track riding, wear is in the center, it'll never happen. It's all about edge wear. But yes, if you're taking your street bike and you're wanting to bring it on the racetrack, sure, a dual compound tire is a good move. But it's less about the compound, there's just so many models that are out there that will serve your purpose as both a street tire that would be sufficient for most people's track days. That Corsa Rosso, again, I can't say enough about it.
So just one point on that. So what Pirelli's answer to that was to leave the front single construction so that you have braking. You don't want to make the middle too hard. That's where your braking is on the power. But they made the rear dual compound. So the edges as you come out are softer. But the middle, you're not really braking with the rear, so they can make that harder to give you that longer life. That was the way they kind of balanced those two out.